Hey guys, Wonderboat here with the Mag1 Community Clinic. Let's see, what do we have? We've got a nice Fire Badger pack. If he's aggro, this would be a great defensive setup here. This is like fun, but it's really brittle. Let's just take a nice stable pack here. He could be either aggro or defense. We could go for like a center kind of flexible line, I suppose. Like if he's aggro, then we're in a nice defensive posture. And if he's defense, we still have aggressive capabilities. Just make a nice spread here. And I think round one, he's aerial, by the way. I think round one, we can keep it simple though. This is just ultimate flexibility, you know? Our flanks are semi-defended. We have lots of chaff, and then we're just going to see if he, like, tries the air at the beginning. Looks like no air for now, and he's actually doing something kind of similar to me. We're both sort of, like, in the center, but not completely defensive, so that's kind of interesting. It's almost like a mid-range... Like, I don't even want to say headbutt. It's just, like, mid-range versus mid-range, but in a central posture. So let's see what happens here. We're waiting for a round 3 power spike. They can buy airiness probably next turn, so I think... You know, we're looking to probably just keep it simple, go into Phoenix. You know, creates our own air threat and answers his air threat. We certainly need single target DPS against his tanky board. Looks like he gets the round 1 win. Hounds are pretty good early, I guess. Good against Fangs as well, since they one-shot them. Another line is like more sledges for me, but... Let's see, are these cards good here? So... I do value these as like early greedy cards. Heavy armor is like almost never bad. I think that's what I'll be picking here. These two cards are pretty irrelevant early on, I think. Pretty contextual. So this leaves us enough money to get the Phoenix and the Chaff. You know, you can technically go into like Wasp with the logic that, you know, it's good against Phoenix and all that. I think some players do go for that. But, you know, sometimes the Wasp feels a little bit bad. And you'd maybe rather get them from a unit reinforcement later. And I'm going to keep my Phoenix nice and safe. Put it behind the Sledgehammer. That way the Sledge will always tank for it. And we'll get one more Crawler. And I think I'm going to put everything in one location here. You just want as much defense. Oh my gosh, I put the heavy armor on the wrong thing. Whoops. Good thing undo is here. Yeah, this one's fine. Okay, so yeah, putting everything on one side because the Phoenix just wants as much protection as possible. And yeah, it's basically my carry right now. So he actually goes for Wraith here. Makes me very happy I'm in the Phoenix. Like, I guess the Wasp would be pretty silly if I went for that against that, so. I actually don't mind his Wraith, though. I think it's pretty good. It's just really good chaff clear. I think it's going to make me want to go more into stuff like Sledgehammers. Because Wraiths are not that good into Sledgehammers. Nice, we got the kill. That's huge. You know, say I were to go chaff heavy, like lots of crawlers, I think it would just make his Wraith a bit too good. And so basically there's a common theme where like if people get really, really good chaff clear, then tanks become good. And if people get really, really good single target, then chaff becomes good, right? So you're always like thinking about the balance there, and I think for now I'm more scared of his chaff clear. So I'm going to focus on, yeah, medium-sized tanks, I think. All right, bunch of blue cards here, round 3. We know next turn is guaranteed to be that first wave of unit reinforcements. Our towers are vulnerable to the Wasp Swarm. I could put like a shield airdrop to cover the tower, and the Wasp would take forever to kill it. Or I could just Wasp Swarm myself. It's not very good into his Wraith. So I think my read here is the shield airdrop. You know, just having it barely cover the tower is pretty valuable. And I still want to put everything on one side, I think. Phoenix level's quite nice. Kill that Wraith way faster. Whether this goes here or like in the flank, I think they're both strong. I think I'll keep it in the main army for now. Maybe even center to try and kill the Hounds. Could be an interesting thought. Let's mirror the Phoenix, though, because, you know, if he adds a Wraith over there, we certainly want it. And then I mentioned the Sledge being good here, and I think it's true. And, yeah, our left tower is not safe, so I guess I can guess here or guess there. I guess I could hedge, but it won't kill every Wasp, so it's a bit awkward, but let's favor that idea. Okay, let's see how this plays out. I actually haven't done this, like, in forever. Like, how long does it take a Wasp to kill the shield? Probably, you know, somewhat long. It'll definitely get it, and that feels bad, but it is what it is. And he also bought a Wasp to counter my Phoenix. Honestly, I really like the lines that our opponent has gone for so far. Like, I think everything he's done is great. I think he's probably got us on this round. Maybe we kill the Wraith and everything's fine, actually. Oh, we've got some Fangs, actually. Yeah, nice. All right. I think we're fine, even if he scams the right side. We still have 2 Phoenixes over here. So, obviously, now that he has the Wasp, we need to do something. Our own Wraith is a decent option. We can go into Wasps ourselves, but he does have those Wraiths. We can copium that the Fangs are enough. You know, there are options here. A lot of wide deployments here. Multiple bodies. Phantom Rays are not that good into Wasps, so not really helping me out there. Rhinos are okay. You know, they're just so tanky that it's not a bad option. Tarantulas, like, honestly, not the worst, but I don't know. Does he have enough chaff to warrant it? These are interesting decisions. I think the Saber is the weakest here. He doesn't really have, like, giant bodies to kill. Unless he does go for, like, I guess you could argue the Sabers counter these drops, so there's some value there. But Phoenixes are already single target for me, so all of that said, I find this to be a tricky decision, but I think I'll just go for the Rhinos. These Sledge levels, I think, are pretty dang nice. Phoenix level as well. Kill the Sledge. And with the Rhinos, I think I want them a little bit late. Maybe not completely late, but yeah, we'll try it. You know, you want the chaff clearing to happen first, then the Rhinos come in. So that's the rationale there. And I think I will just get Mustangs. They also cover the flank pretty nicely. We know he gets a Wasp Swarm eventually, right? So we'll put them both on the same side. Kind of the same theme as earlier. This is the great thing about doing Rhinos and corners, by the way. Getting free flank defense against that is just incredible. Like, he is not happy to see that. He will probably be selling those Rhinos. So the tempo is just great for us. We're killing the Wasp. Phoenix's leveling early on in this game has been great. This heavy armor we took is making a really strong sledge line. Fire Badger's doing okay in the middle. So my opponent needs to sell the Rhinos, of course, and just, I think, get more DPS. I feel like we have a really tanky army. And he has the Wraiths to counter my ground chaff. So at this point, he's looking for single target. And I think I'm just more into, like, the sledge line, like maybe like bubble tempo, that sort of thing. Looking at the cards here, enhancement module is, like, playable. You know, I have 2 levels that I can abuse, and I'm not super thrilled by the Badger. I mean, actually, it's probably fine. So maybe I want to keep it. So because I don't want to sell too badly, I'm more looking at something like the Wasp Swarm. So we'll just put it in the absolute corner, just so that there's, like, less likely chance that something goes after it. If he adds, like, a chaff here, I'm in trouble. So there is a question of what I do, and I think I'm going to keep it simple. It's expensive, but I'm just going to say missile. And yeah, keep the level game going. And then I think crucially here, we take this field maintenance tech. I think that tech is just really good on sledges. It's so cheap, and unless they have, like, you know, scorpions or something, it just ends up being amazing. We'll complete the quadrant of sledges, and I think just keep going in on the birds. I don't really need them, I guess. Yeah, maybe let's just keep going on the crawlers. This may help in case he like adds stuff on the flank, so... And I want late chaff anyways. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, so unfortunately one missile gets kind of wasted, but I knew this one, or like one of them, would stay, so that's, you know, not the worst. For peace of mind. And my Wasp Swarm gets to go in, so... Yeah, maybe not enough respect for that spell there. And yeah, this tempo is going to look pretty good, right? Like, the RHINO play just didn't work out for him. We got such a tanky sledge line. The Phoenixes got their levels. And it's a little tough to recover for him. He basically needs, like... He needs to crush my sledge badger line, right? So he needs something like either hackers or scorpions, Raidens, right? He's an aerial specialist. But, like, it might be too late, but I think that's what he wants. Like, he could take, like, Efficient Giant, build a bunch of Raidens, and, like, pray that he scales. But, you know, I have my own threats, right? Like, there's 2 crazy spells here if I want to close out the game. You know, we could run it back, right? Another air unit in the back of his line. Has a shorter cooldown than Nuke, a bit cheaper as well. I think it's not a bad try. Shield airdrops back. Absolutely love this spell. We'll check it where our majority army is. RHINO level gives me no sweat about that 1v1. And let's lone and be pretty tempo heavy here. I like bubbles against the Nuke. I'm not going to bubble the singular one though. And yeah, maybe more Phoenixes. Like, my chaff clear is not amazing, so like just in case he goes heavy on chaff clear, you know, maybe we just go for more sledges. Might be too hard for him to have an answer, right? It's hard for him to go for a bunch of sledges all at once. And let's take the Mustang range as well. He's an aerial specialist, like it's hard for it to be bad. We still struggle against wasps in some situations. Let's see if the boat gets through. I think it will. Oh, this poor guy. I know the feeling. He appropriately went into Scorps. So yeah, I think this guy played pretty well, but it just, yeah, once again, the minor details, you know. That is part of Mechabellum. That's why a lot of these top players are so good. They just have such precise play. Like, I'm not tooting my own horn here because that's often how I lose to the top dogs. It's just, their precision is insane. And, you know, obviously I've played a lot more hours than this guy, but it seems like he's on the right track. That said, the game is not over. I thought I would do a lot better. But, you know, his nuke did cost a lot more than my boat, and it will come back earlier, so feeling good. Now, the upshot here is his Scorp line is kind of developed. He gets the Raiden follow-up or the boat follow-up. So actually, I am kind of sweating here. Now, I do think these are good for me as well. The question is which one. I think it's boat. There's a lot of questions, though. Like, what do I sell? I think the Badger shouldn't be that good. There's not even a lot of crawlers streaming into this center. And we're not going to tech the Badgers. So let's start with that. We want a lot of money because we're going to go very heavy into boats here. So let's go, I think 2 boats and launcher may be the play here. I think with launcher, I'm still pretty safe. I'll sit behind the sledges just barely. And we just want a nice spreadage. This boat is like lined up to kill nothing, so maybe I put it over here. I would have loved temp range, by the way. This is pretty sad. But yeah, we'll just rock it. We'll see what happens. I'm actually like a little bit nervous. We'll see. Like, the sledges are really good if the Scorps don't really get their connects. He is in Raidens now, though. So yeah, we'll see if my overcommitment into sledges will bite me in the butt here. I also just, like, don't have good chaff clear, so as he develops this, you know, crawlers in the corners, I could really struggle. And you can see his comp just completely crushing mine here. Uh-oh. Alright, we may need to go pretty heavy on the tempo. So I'm looking at missiles, maybe bubbles. Oh my gosh, that damage is insane. We needed the temp range pretty badly. Do I need a redeployment anywhere? I don't think so. This is also an issue of having too many things to sell, right? Like, in theory, I could want to get out of sledges. Maybe my RHINO's not really performing too hotly. I actually think the RHINO's, like, should be okay. Yeah, I'm not sure I have a sell here, actually. Like, maybe the Mustangs even. Let's start with these missiles. I want to, like, get this Hound and then still have a missile for the crawler that comes in. I think that would be great. Yeah, let's do the loans and everything. And I imagine that range is good. Like, I think splash is fine too. I could do both, but then I may have a DPS problem, so. Let's just keep doing the tempo stuff. I'm trying to not bubble the very tips of my chaff because it may just get wasted. And yeah, I mean, maybe it's just late chaff. See how this goes. We may just die here. I think my boats are not that good. May have been a misplay. I mean, not the only misplay, but certainly one of them. Missile's looking good. It should make a big difference. Let's see. Do we lock the Wraith? Still no. This missile on the left killing the crawler is really big here. But we're just not connecting on his units with my boats yet. Now we're finally connecting, but in comes his carries on the left. My boat under fire now from the Raiden. Down it goes. And yeah, my opponent got me. Very nice. I think probably the issue were the sledges. Do I have emotes? I can't emote. Whatever, I'll just say GG. Yeah, so probably the boats were the issue. Or sorry, the sledges were the issue. Yeah, maybe the boats were not good. Just stay on Phoenix. Yeah, I think that's the case. I don't remember what the other options were. It was like Raiden and some other stuff. Yeah, I mean, I really like the way my opponent played this. I mean, obviously, I didn't like him getting his tower scammed multiple times, but like, as far as his composition, it was really good. GG, guys. This has been Wonderboat with the Mag 1 Clinic. Thanks for watching.